we're gonna go ahead and head to this last one, and that is the street code. I almost said clothes. But anyways, street code. Basically, with the street code, I think this has been damaging our community for quite a while now. This is coming from somebody who was once in his life was a YN himself. They were doing damage. But I never, I actually had a code. I never did nothing to kids, you know what I'm saying? People really young or elderly. These little YNs today on something different. But the thing is what I think is civilians should be able to snitch because they're protected by the law. They're not protected by the streets. So how do they have to follow the street code? They shouldn't. But what kind of made me put this in here is another ongoing crazy turn of events that's been going on, it's been taking place for a while now, is the Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez situation. So Tory Lanez has been presented to the judge several times, new evidence to basically prove his innocence. You ask me, it's been proven that he's innocent, but they didn't give a damn. Why? Because they always want to go with who they like. If this was somebody that they didn't like, Tory would have been out. But they like Megan Thee Stallion, so they're keeping this bullshit going on. So Tory never took the stand because he was following the code. No snitching. And that ultimately fucked him. But if, from my knowledge, now someone can correct me if I am wrong, I don't look at Tory Lanez as a street nigga.
Agree.
Right. Therefore, he should have had the luxury of being able to get on the stand and tell the motherfucking truth to free himself. Look at what's been happening to him since he's been in prison. He got stabbed 17 times. He has a son that can't see his father now because of all this bullshit and all because of a lie. So I'll love to open it up to everyone, chat and the panel. What are y'all thoughts on this, on the street club? Should we be following this bullshit or, or is it justified that motherfuckers need to start snitching if they ain't involved in that life?
Hell no. For me, I'm snitching. You got me messed up. I ain't going to jail for nobody. I don't give a damn. I'm sorry because I don't play them games. I'm not in the street, so I don't think civilians should have to partake in that street code stuff that you got going. They asked me what I saw. They asked me, I don't know if I tell them what I saw, but if it was something innocent, like you did something to a child or to a woman that was minding their business, I ain't got nothing. I can't say I'm not gonna tell them what I saw, but definitely if it comes to other races, I'm telling you everything I saw. But I try to not see anything because I don't want nothing. Because it ain't no code. Like it's no set of rules. Like what Dr. Umar like to say is that in the mafia or in the mob, if you one of the rules, they got a rule that if you kill a woman, a child, or elder, then that's a crime against the you don't live to go to jail when you do shit like that. So all these things where we see black men and kill black women or black men and kill babies, like according to the mafia, you don't get to live. You don't go to jail for the rest of your life when you do shit like that. So that's the issue with the black community. There is no code. It's no code. It's like everybody's just playing off their own feeling and emotion, what they think the street code is. To me, if I'm not a street dude, if I'm a nerd and I go to middle school, I shouldn't be subjected to the same rules that y'all have in the community.
50 likes, people. We got 100 people. It should be at least at halfway. 50 likes. Let's go.
I'm not a street dude, I shouldn't have to be on a no snitch policy, right? I ain't gotta necessarily volunteer no information, but I also don't have to put my life in danger. Be it where they're telling me I'm going to jail if I show up and tell them what I saw, or they put me down for some shit that I ain't do. I'm gonna get up there and I'm gonna say that I ain't do it. Um, and if I don't know, and that's I think Tori's situation. Even though when it comes to black, I think it's easier for black women, but for black men, we're not very responsive. We're not very responsive, responsibly when black men get cooperate with the criminal justice system. Like, you know, Burner didn't even snitch. Burner pled guilty, and we ain't forgave Burner. But whatever. So I think civilians, if we ain't had nothing to do with it, we shouldn't be subjected to the code that y'all got, that the YNs got. And y'all should make sure that regular civilians are not harmed
Hands don't
by
really feel no code.
that drama
They
that
definitely
y'all
ain't got
got going on. See, and I think the biggest issue, I think it'll be much safer if they came up with a code.
yeah, that's what time it is. We need to do that. We do nationwide, but I speak for my city. I'm praying for the YGs in my city to get it right. I'm from a small city. It's not like Memphis. It's not like LA, but these, they killing each other too, and we too small for that. So I agree with you, Solo. A code, hopefully nationwide, but definitely city to city needs to be set.
But look, I want to respond to this comment.
Mm.
I agree that Kelsey did shoot Megan, but and I think the other thing is that you be advised by your attorneys, and you only take their advice. And if they say, I feel like it's best you don't testify, because you do get they are able to get all your past criminal shit in when you testify. So a lot of times defendants don't testify because a lot of times they do have a criminal history. And once I get you on the stand, I'm going to be able to tell the jury all your priors, right? So a lot of times they are advised not to testify because we don't want them to know that you've been involved in all this other shit, because that may taint their minds and they just say, oh yeah, you definitely guilty based on what you previously done, right? So you get advice from your attorneys about not thing, but Kelsey ass didn't get up there. She had absolute immunity, right? She had
Yeah.
immunity. She
Yep.
didn't get up there and say I did it. She didn't get up there and say Tori didn't do it. So at first, to me, it was Kelsey choosing herself over Tori, right? I'm gonna put Tori in jail so I don't go to jail. So in my case, and I'm thinking in this kind of case, Tori should be able to get up there and say, I didn't do it. That's who did. This is what happened, and that's who did it, without being subjugated by the black community. Cause I mean, he may not be a street dude, but he do make music about being a hood, like a street dude.
And that's a difference. Carry on, Solo. But it is a difference from. I'm glad you said that. Difference between the hood dude and the street dude. But carry on.
Yeah, like he make music about that. So I do think his career would have tainted any
It
event
would.
that he
I agree
would
with that.
have went up there and did that.
Mm-hmm.
But am I going to jail for that? I don't know if I am. I ain't going to jail for nobody, but I guess that's just one of my hard no's. Like absolutely not. Um
To real quick to Tyron Clark, YG stands for Young Gangster. I mean, YN is another term, but some people use YG as well, Young Gangsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I also want to address this one that he said. He said talking about snitching, right? With defining snitching. So I don't know about y'all. Y'all can let me know y'all feelings on the panel and in the chat. But to me, there's a difference between snitching and a rat.
Mm-hmm.
So let me go ahead and give y'all my difference. Snitching can be, because let's think about this. Snitching is said in the household. Say we siblings, me and Taj are siblings. Taj eat our mama's cake while she's at work. And she come home and wondering who the hell ate her cake. And I was like, Taj ate that shit. And then I snitched on Taj. But ratting is basically when you get your ass jammed up. And let's say me and Taj again, we did a crime together.
Mm-hmm.
I get jammed up. And I rat on Taj.
Right.
Rat stands for run and tell.
Oh shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what it stands for.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
basically you snitching on him so that you can get out. You gotta basically go to prison, run and tell.
Yeah.
So it is a difference. So
yeah,
so
that's my first time hearing it.
Now you ought to get your ass whooped for that. I'm sorry.
absolutely, because that's fucked up. Y'all did it together.
Right. The guy, right.
Well, my thing is, okay, say for example, we do this together and you the only one get caught.
That's
Why would you
snitching.
then snitch on me?
Right.
And
Because
they
it
have
ain't
no
snitching.
evidence to know it's me.
Right.
Why would you? Now, to me, that should go against the street code.
It does.
Yeah,
Because
it
why
is.
would you?
That's against the street because y'all in the street. So
Because
now
why would you tell on me?
you
Why
judge
can't
that.
you just do your time?
That's-
You got caught doing the shit that we did together.
Yeah.
But why would you want both of us in jail instead of you, the only one they caught?
That's the snitching right there. That's the understanding I have, that if you participate in the crime and tell, hey, they got us, you know that
Yeah, that's some bull. That's bull.
yeah,
No,
that's
because
snitching.
that's
An
bad.
innocent civilian, yeah, testifying, that's not snitching. They telling, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they subpoena you as a witness. You got to go up there and testify, or you going to jail for perjury, or you going to jail for not showing up to the subpoena. So no, like I was getting gas, and y'all started this bull crap. I didn't have nothing to do with this, but now you got me in the courtroom testifying so I don't go to jail.
Okay, so let me catch up on some of these comments real quick. We're getting quite a few though. I don't think it was so much street snitching, but he claims he was attempting to protect the best friend, Kelsey, who he says actually shot me.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of obvious. Anyways, blame all your ignorance on your favorite party, the Democrats. Black and white politicians, Republicans ain't any angels, but it's those devilish Democrat in America. I agree with you 100%, Pastor Porkchop. That's a funny guy. Broadway is for the weak. Looking to the cow and buffalo method. We buffalo soldiers. Snitching is betrayal, not using law enforcement to do service of justice. Civilians don't have to follow the rules of the street. I agree. I say mind your business when it doesn't involve you or any other innocent person. I agree.
That's the norm, if you ask me. Go ahead.
Now, I'm going to touch on this a little bit. I agree with that. Now, if you're a civilian, because think about it, like I said, it's two different worlds. If you're a civilian and you so happen to see something going on with some street niggas, and you decide you want to get involved, it's not bothering you. Now you kind of opening the cans of worms that you don't want to be dealing with. You tapping into their world a bit. Now they won't go touch you because the real gangsters, they don't mess with civilians unless it's something that's interfering what they got going on, which you're technically doing, sticking your nose in something that's not really your business. If I'm a witness, I'll be honest because I'm not a piece of shit human being. Let's treat others how you want to be treated. Now, if you get called in for it, then that's different. I ran into this in Georgia. A young man was trying to make a little girl hang out with him. I walked her home. Her mom wanted to confront him. I talked to the cops. If you got deleted and a witness can get justice and peace of mind for your loved ones, would you want justice for your family? Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Switching is just, I guess you meant snitching, is just telling the truth about any criminal. If you fear snitching, then you really know in your heart you have sinned against the Lord. Hmm. Take care of the big picture. Stop black devastation. Childish ways, zero accountability. We lost the ability to wear each other's shoes. Take care of the bud picture. Protect the innocent, or we all become guilty. Telling the truth isn't snitching, it's just being honest. I don't have an obligation to protect strangers from their consequences. Snitching is telling on anyone to get out of your mess, period. Whether it's telling on the organization you're in or anyone else. Okay, these folks really on this snitching shit.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Yeah.
Even though Gold Suspicional would consider him a snitch or a rat for setting up Canaan to get locked up. He snitched on Canaan. A man gets caught smelling pot to kids. He gets out of trouble by trading his consequences for information on another's crime. In 2005, you record a crime and post it on the internet. Do y'all think that makes you a snitch? That's a good question, but I guess, yeah. The rules apply to anyone in the streets. If you are a civilian, if you're a citizen or a civilian, the rules don't apply. Facts. Only evil people believe in telling the truth and being honest and snitching, just as Satan. All right, caught up on the comments. So, any more remarks y'all want to add to this last topic?
If we could come up with a code, the people would really appreciate it.
Say it again.
I said if we could come up with a code, the people would really appreciate it.
I fully agree with that. And Jamie, we both know Fonzo. I want to shout Fonzo out because at the beginning of the YGs doing they murder rap beef in the hometown city I grew up in, Fonzo, no, from Chicago, he gave me this scripture. He said, man, share this scripture with them. And I'm gonna share it with people listening now or later. It's Ecclesiastes 3:3. And Ecclesiastes 3:3 say there's a time to kill. So when the few YGs I had access to, I did my OG due diligence of just sharing that scripture with them and just sort of asking them like, yo, y'all be a little more considerate about how y'all living, because I mean, if you killing somebody just because they hurt your feelings, like, hot damn, is that really punishable by death? This dude hurt your feelings and now he gone. So back to the point Solo making, I'm actually trying to do the social work in my small town city to say, hey, y'all got to come up with some kind of code. To both of y'all point, the mob had that. You're just not out there whacking people for, just crazy reasons. And it's time for Black America. When you look at the Italian American gangsters, they pretty much did that shit through the 20s, the 30s. I think Bugsy Siegel went to Vegas and maybe the 50s. They run, but like y'all said, they had codes. And Black America, we just been doing it for too long. And if now, last point, y'all, to y'all triple OG homie out of Memphis, Judge Joe Brown, he gave some history behind homicidal thoughts and how that's, if I'm quoting him correctly, it's like a part of our reptilian brain. So especially the male species, we have that, and we just got to find a way to channel those homicidal thoughts into a more, shit. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, in wherever city you from, the gangsters should be establishing what's punishable by death. When you come to Memphis, all the gangsters in Memphis, hey, and when you come to Memphis, what's punishable by death? LA, Chicago, all the G cities. The top G's should be establishing, and I'm telling y'all, I'm doing my best to do that in my hometown city of Hollywood, Florida. Like, I'm asking the one G's, hey man, what's punishable by death, little homie? Like, what to get a nigga killed what line of them crossing would get them killed? And the goal is to raise the bar of what's punishable by death. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'll leave it there.
Kids.
Mm-hmm.
being a deadbeat.
Yeah, it's bad. I don't know, and I'm not saying this with no glorification. I don't know if y'all heard about the cases where the murder rappers ended up killing each other's mothers and shit. Man, that happened where I'm from. And I would have never thought in 1,000 years with all the cities across the country, from New York to Chicago to LA, Memphis, and all New Orleans, all the other dangerous cities, I would have never thought that would happen in a small town like where I'm from. But the drill rappers that was going at it, it's an ongoing case as we speak. And
Damn,
two
that's
mothers
crazy.
and,
You
and a
killing
couple fathers.
mamas? Come on, man.
Yeah. Onto my intended hits. That's as far as I'm going because the case is ongoing. But two mothers was lost. So I mean, a code to Solo's point and Jamie's point, a code, Black America. I'm pleading to the G's across the country, man. Specifically my city, and I can kind of put some influence in my city. It's time we need a code, y'all. Yeah, specifically for what's punishable by death. If a person step on your shoes, is that punishable by death?
Yeah, killing somebody's mama is crazy.
Two
That's
cases.
crazy.
Yeah, that's yeah,
Insane. That's
yeah,
insane.
yeah. Two.
Mama ain't did nothing but try to do her best raising him.
That's right. Yeah, and it's yeah. I'll send Jamie one of the leaks. I don't want to put too much information out there, but that broke my heart.
And we can cover that in the morning show this week.
All right, yeah, I'll send that link to you. And it was so heartbreaking because I knew parents on both sides of the murder rap war. I don't call it drill rap. I don't want nobody to be confused. I'm calling it what it is, murder rap, where you rapping about what you're going to do and you follow through with it. Because that's what qualifies you to be, now I'll use the word drill rapper. That's what qualifies you to be a drill rapper. To
What
rap
you
about,
going to jail?
they don't care.
Oh my
Solo,
God.
Solo, I had a chance to get up close and personal with this in my hometown. And I go back to like 2010, 2011. And I used to see the youngsters playing GTA, Grand Theft Auto, the other mafia game, Grand Mafia, and they would be playing that game so intense. So it's almost like, I'm not trying to blame the video games, but it's almost like that shit was kind of like a training field for them. And then eventually you saw it spill out into the streets. And I could pretty much say that nationwide as well, but definitely where I'm from, I saw it up close and personal. How they was just pretty much practicing through the video game, Grand Theft Auto, and all the other games allow you to do that senseless killing and stuff. And they took it from there into the real world, and here we are. And we can't have this segment without talking about the buzzing, trending topic in our culture right now: F the streets or a family forever or something like that. Those like the two options. And you got rappers coming out defending the streets. You got rappers saying F the streets, and then you got people screaming family forever. Like it's just, hey man, it's family, friends, and it depends. That's it, y'all.
I think we need to abandon the streets.
Put it out there, Solo. You work in the system.
Abandon them. The streets ain't never loved nobody. Ain't that what they say?
So Solo and Jamie, what about the people? I mean, y'all from a rough city too. What about the people who grew up without much family support and all they had was the streets? They souls deserve saving, right? Somebody got to reach out to them, right? Or do we just leave them out there with no family support? No, you know what I mean? So I'm like, hey, if we could reach anybody in the streets to pull them out, that's the process of saving a soul. If not, then hey, if that's the life they chose, then just stay out the way.
Nah, I mean, of course their life is worth saving. I mean, we are, you know, we do our best to do what we can with what our people present. So I mean, of course, we want to help them out as much as we can. We want to put them out of the streets, make them the best. That's what I'm saying. Let's abandon it all. Let's abandon the streets and get you a job at a black manufacturing company. Let's go get you a certification in something that you can use to make money. I'm saying turn. Maybe he ain't selling drugs no more. Maybe he flipping t-shirts. Maybe he flipping whatever it is. Maybe he's selling canned goods. Maybe he now, cause I mean, cause let's be honest, if you can sit out there and flip and make money off selling weed, you a business owner. You
Absolutely.
understand
That's what I felt like.
the
That was my
product.
thing.
You understand you gotta save money to get the
Yeah.
product again. You know how much you gotta sell it to make a
You
profit.
spot
You
on,
know, you know what I'm
Solo.
saying?
Yeah. No,
You
you spot
basically
on
know
with
how
that.
to run a business.
Hell
If
yeah.
you can
It
sell
is a
weed, you can
business.
sell t-shirts. If you can
Damn right.
sell weed, you can sell
Yeah.
lemonade.
Yep.
If you know what I'm saying, like
That
we
shit
just
is
need
definitely
to
a business.
utilize those skills and put them in efforts that legalize, that
Yeah,
is
Mm-hmm.
the
legal.
ones that make coke and fentanyl and all that stuff, that's science. That's what it is. They know all the stuff, bro. It's just they've been indoctrinated to do other skill sets with the knowledge that they know.
Right.
But anyways, to address SG, yeah, we're gonna start the morning show back this week. I finally freed up some time for myself now to be free in the morning. So yeah, I'm gonna start it back. Start the morning show back, and then we'll can't guarantee I'll be having the night shows every night, but hey, as much as I can, we'll be doing those. And for those of y'all that's new, we do this particular podcast every Sunday, typically around 3:30 Pacific time. If you're an East Coaster, that'll be 6:30 your time. If you're in Central time, that's 5:30 your time. So we be here every Sunday, and then who knows, maybe we'll start expanding more days eventually after the following. But yeah, so I definitely appreciate that, Tyron Clark. You've been very engaging and stuff like that, and I'd love to have you come back. But yeah, Kenneth Robinson as well. Much respect and love to all of y'all to do it. Make sure y'all tune in next Sunday, close around the same time. Anybody else want to add something else before we close?
Nah, another great show. Much love till next time, and y'all have a good one.
Hey, Todd and Solo, real quick. I'm gonna end it, but don't jump out just yet.
All right.